Hey YouTube, I'm doing a follow-up video on my Ubr Commander. I had posted the video of when I first got this Ubr Commander in August of 2011. And the first thing that I can tell you about this knife is that carrying it as an everyday carry knife, most of the wear and tear went to the pocket clip. You can kind of see the amount of scrape, scratch, and fading on the black paint on the pocket clip. Other than that, it's held its tension pretty well, putting it in my jeans and occasionally inside the waistband of my belt sometimes. The next thing that I can tell you about is the G10 from August till present. Carrying this in jeans and corduroy pants and slacks every day, it hasn't really worn down the crispness of the G10, the texture. The texture feels ever so grippy as the first day that I unboxed this, which is amazing. I would guess it would take probably about a good 2 years to probably wear it down to where you folks have seen the edges on a lot of the people that carry Emerson. The edges are kind of smooth off and almost, rounded off, if you will. The edge here, it's still crisp, and you can really feel the texture still. So that's a plus. Moving on to the blade. The blade still has the original edge. You can almost see the grind marks through the reflection, if I can get it to focus here from the light. I've stropped it on leather strop. I've cut everything from rawhide bones for my dogs, cardboard boxes, to plastic tie wraps. So the negative part that I've found is the edge comes from Emerson so sharp and fine that, believe it or not, I dinged, if I can show you, hopefully it turns out here, but I've actually nicked the blade. There it is, if you could see at the tip here, or not the tip but right up there. See if I can focus. It actually nicked the blade right there from cutting a cardboard box. I'm sure if I really sat there for a good 10 minutes and stropped this on the leather strop, that I'm sure I could work that nick out. But as far as the copper washers that I've put in there, it's still doing a great job of keeping any slop, at bay. All the opening and closing that I've done on this knife, the locking mechanism, I'll get to that here shortly, and opening it is still smooth as ever. I haven't greased this since the day I changed the bushings. So the blade, it's holding up great, but it just comes so sharp from Emerson that you got to be careful as you cut things that you don't nick the blade like I did. For a certain amount of people out there that will covet this knife, that nick will just probably drive you crazy. If anything, make you want to send it to Emerson to have to have it resharpened. But I'm okay with it. It's an everyday carry knife. I'll live. The last thing I wanted to note is the liner lock, and I'm going to show you where it's at now. It hasn't moved too much. As you can see, it's about halfway on the range of travel, and I'm going to focus there. So that's kind of where it's at. Now, if you go back to my first video posting, I can tell you that when it opened, the blade locked up. It stopped right there, and I'm going to release it, and it's there now. So if I had to guess, it probably went and moved about 2 millimeters or millimeter, because when I first got it and I opened it up and locked it, the liner lock would stop there. So now it's right there, which, it doesn't bother me any. I'm sure if it gets to the end of travel, I'll just send this into Mr. Emerson to have it replaced, have the liner lock replaced. But as you can see, it's a huge knife. The wear on the G10 hasn't worn down much. The liner lock has moved, like I said, a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters in the travel. The blade, it's holding up. I think it can still shave hair. I don't know if I can get the video camera to focus and show, but it still pops hair. You can see that right there. So it's still razor sharp. And like I said, I take this to work, so I've cut plastic tie wraps, cardboard boxes, rawhide bones, again for my dogs. The action's still solid. You can hear that snap. And when I do use the wave, I really whip it out. So I'm sure by doing that, it puts a lot of wear on the liner locks. But the way I look at it, Emerson says they're hard-used knives, so I definitely use it well. So that's the follow-up so far. I don't care to use a lanyard. Some of you probably seen in my first videos. I don't really believe in the lanyards. But other than that, the G10 is holding up well. The liner lock has moved possibly a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters over in its range of travel. The blade holds an edge. The only downside is that the knife comes from Emerson so sharp that at first you really have to, I guess, ease the knife in when you're cutting things to where you get that fine edge to, just dull out. But once that fine edge gets dull, to me, it's still sharp. But again, it comes so razor sharp from Emerson, you have to be careful what you cut with it, because if you're not careful, you'll nick the blade. But anyway, that's where this knife is at. Again, I've been carrying this since August, and so hope this kind of gives you an idea how sturdy and well this knife is as a everyday carry. So till next time, enjoy.